Welcome, everybody, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. And at this podcast, you know what? They say that April is the cruelest month. September is the craziest month. Right now, it's like harvest. Harvest hasn't really happened yet. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, when are the grapes going to come in? There might be some rain later in the week, so all the grape growers are kind of freaking out. But the farmer's market today, you know I go to the farmer's market every Friday. Oh my gosh, Jimmy the pumpkin guy had all his stuff there at the farm. The Patch had a bunch of tomatoes. Timothy Benton, the coffee guy, was there. Gloria, the crepe person, was there. Everybody was there, but you know who wasn't there? My guest, but it's good because she has her own place where she serves food and talks a lot of things. So I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but this week, folks, I have a very special guest, and this time I actually mean it. Lauren Kershner, how are you?
Oh, good. Well, I'm honored. I'm so special.
You are a very special guest, Lauren. So
good.
Welcome.
Just happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
I'm glad to head into this beautiful weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. We got a lot of stuff going on, and September's the everything happens around here, right?
There is a lot going on.
Like,
yes.
as I was leaving my office at the visitor center on the plaza, 453 First Street East, stop by and get a minute. An enormous bus was pulling up, and I said to my staff, "Good luck, have fun." So all the buses are coming, and it's a busy time, but it's not like a crazy in the sense that there's a pack of people, but because we're a really wide out area, right? Really spread out. But it's just everyone's coming, and it's a good thing. So
yeah, it's awesome. We love harvest season. It's like something in the air, you know, besides the aroma of the grapes being harvested and fermented, of course, but it's just gorgeous. The leaves are changing colors. Yes. Everyone's talking about this year's vintage and harvest.
Yes, it's going to be a thing. We're going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Lauren, tell me, what's the name of your company that you're with?
So I own Goodness Gracious Private Chef and Catering.
Okay.
And then we opened an event venue last year called Songbird Parlour.
Okay.
And I also have a small microbrewery. I make kombucha.
Oh, wait. So you have you're a 3-in-1. You're like a triple threat here. Okay. So Goodness Gracious, which is catering.
Yeah, we do private chef experiences, and then actually more recently the catering has come on in the last couple of years.
Okay. And then Songbird Parlour. Tell me where that is and what that is.
Yeah, so we're located in the Jack London Village in Glen.
Okay.
It's a really beautiful building full of history. It has the old mill. It's actually one of the oldest in California.
Oh, okay.
I think the second.
Interesting.
They argue about all of that.
Right.
But it was built in 1839, so it's this amazing building. It has a lot of history.
Okay.
We're in one of the biggest spaces in there. Yeah.
And the mill, though, is like on Sonoma Creek, right? So there used to be an actual mill crushing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys have this neat little part in the front of the building. You have this sort of like beautiful parlor, called a Songbird Parlour, where people can do events and things like that. Tell me, who picked out all the designs and built that place? Because it's gorgeous inside.
Yeah, so Laura Schurmeister, she's one of my friends, and she also owns Schurmeister Winery, just in the same building around the corner. And she practically begged me to let her design it.
Oh, really?
And we talked about it, and I kind of let her take on the role of bringing the brand to life as far as the modern Victorian feel. So the famous green color, if you check it out online or stop by, you'll see everyone absolutely loves the color.
You talk about the walls and stuff like
that? Yes. She had to convince me on that, but I'm so glad I did it. It's amazing.
Well, it's a bold, a lot of Sonoma and wine country is mission style. Everyone's doing that Chip and Joanna Gaines white and black farmhouse thing. Yeah. Yours is completely different.
It really is.
And it has a lot of texture and feeling and emotion behind it. Mm-hmm. I'm not a designer. People know I've been wearing the same shirts now for these podcasts for a year and a half. But it's not really my thing. But I love going into a place like that. Yeah. Going, wow, someone put a lot of effort into this and it really works together.
Totally. Nice. And then I had the help of Mia Sandmark Designs and her team. She's local in town.
Oh, good.
And they helped with a lot of the furnishings, the beautiful plush velvet couches.
Yeah, those are just perfect for sitting on. I could see a cocktail hour happening there, and just sort of, I don't know if someone would be painting somebody. That's my feeling. Somebody should be lounging there and having a painting going on.
I like that. We actually did have at our New Year's Eve party last year, there's this girl, she owns a business. She paints in red wine. She we give her the red wine ahead of time, and she doctors it up a little bit, but she was doing portraits.
With red wine?
Yeah, with the wine that you're drinking.
That's
a very
fantastic
cool
idea.
Thing. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Well, people are really into terroir, so maybe art terroir is the newest thing.
Art terroir. I've never even heard of that. You just invented that.
There we are. So in your venue space, you can have a bunch of different tables in there. There is a back bar / kitchen area, so you can see people working right there. to the left, when you come in, there are some chairs that lead back to, obviously the bathrooms are back there, but then also a hallway with some really neat history
there's
photos
a history
and things
museum
there.
back there.
And so you were mentioning that the Jack London Village was the old mill, and appropriately enough, there is a restaurant there called The Mill.
Yeah, of course.
And there's a big water wheel.
Yeah,
where they would use that for the mill.
Yeah.
And Sonoma Creek is also the home of, and many things, including Poison Oak. However, the most important thing is the Jack to Jack yacht race. I think ends.
It's hilarious.
That's in the spring where people race their yachts.
Yes, they do.
Down
Little miniature yachts.
Oh, miniature yachts.
Yes,
Just 30 inches long, not 30 feet long.
30 centimeters.
Yeah, they're pretty small. That's kind of funny. But that's what I love about that Jack London Village is that it's in Glen Ellen, but a little bit outside of Glen Ellen, and it has its own feel. You have a chocolate shop there, Pangloss, Passaggio Wines is there, Schermeister Wines is there. There used to be the family therapist guy there, but I guess he solved everyone's problems and he left. Is that what happened?
I wish.
He's like, I'm done. I declare victory. But there used to be like a services guy there. I think he left.
Exactly. He was also a historian, Jim Shear. He put together the museum.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's also a Yeti restaurant there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeti, Nepalese restaurant, one of our absolute favorite places.
So people can kind of go there, spend half a day, really checking everything out, get some chocolate.
The Sonoma Valley Regional Park, the entrance to the hiking trail there is you can park in our parking lot.
Oh, really? And kind of go out to the thing
2 minutes, and you can go hiking.
And what's nice is that park has a trail that goes right over to Highway 12.
It
so
does,
some people who park in Highway 12 can end up at Jack London Lodge, or Jack London Village, excuse me.
It's not too far.
And go there. So, and that Jack London guy, his name's all over Glen Ellen.
Yes.
Gosh, what's up with that? All right, and so then you also have kombucha.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is kombucha?
Well, I can show you.
Okay. So you're holding
a
bottle.
My kombucha here,
it's a reddish, pinkish. What's a color expert? What color is that over there? Is that kind of reddish, pinkish, purplish, young lady?
What kind of color is this, Penelope? What would you call this?
What color is that? This is
red.
Kind of red.
Yeah, like
Lauren's personal assistant is here. So kind of a red, but not like a wine red. It's a lighter red.
Yeah,
and,
it's red beet, apple, and ginger kombucha.
And is kombucha made of beets, or what's kombucha made of?
It's fermented, slightly sweetened black tea.
Oh, it's like the tea that you get, just
I
normal
actually
tea.
get tea and trumpets. It's Mark over at the Friday Farmers Market.
Another guy I should have mentioned at the lead. Okay, yeah. Mark
and I was there this morning.
Wait,
I sprinted from my car to give him his cash, and then sprinted back and then had to get going. But
so you take black tea.
I make black tea with some sugar, and then we put something called a SCOBY in there. It stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast.
Oh.
And then it sits.
Okay.
And in the summer it's quicker and ferments kind of more funky. In the winter it's kind of more slow and mild.
Okay.
It's a living thing.
Are you fermenting it in like in a winery? They have big fermenting vats.
Right.
Usually, is it something
They're
similar, or is it
jars.
gallon jars?
So
okay.
I do 18 gallons every 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
So it's about 12 cases a month.
Wow. Okay. And you put them into, these are in the same size of wine bottle, a 750 milliliter.
I thought that would be fitting.
I like that.
When I actually first started this, I've been brewing kombucha for a long time, but I moved here and I was using wine grapes actually. So I had some friends with vineyards and they just had.
Wait, isn't it fermented wine grapes called wine?
I know.
Yes. You might be onto something, Lauren.
Yes.
Right. So you were using wine grapes as a flavoring.
Yeah.
In the kombucha.
So I actually went and handpicked, like a cooler full of Pinot, have you, Carneros Pinot, juiced them just like you would juice like a fruit. And that was the juice I used in the kombucha. So it was Carneros Pinot.
That's awesome.
I know,
almost
right?
like appellated kombucha.
Yeah.
Because kombucha is really blown up. My son's like, Dad, get some booch. So it's a great fermented product. It has caffeine in it. I think it has a little tiny bit of maybe alcohol sometimes. Some of them, they're like, it's funny, like they can't be sold to people under 18. I'm like, how much alcohol is in a kombucha versus like apple cider that's been sitting in your car for a while, right? It's like the same level.
Yeah, exactly. It's or even a fresh donut. Will have the yeast.
Right, totally.
Yeah, but go ahead. That's yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so the I love the art on the cover is a woman. It's sort of like a Gibson girl kind of painting.
Yeah.
And it's like a line done. Who did your artwork here?
So his name is Talon Gear. I went to high school with him.
Oh.
He's a fantastic artist. He lives in San Francisco. He's commissioned. I think my sister has a tattoo that he drew up.
Really?
He does hotel murals and these.
Yeah, I mean this is
hotels.
gorgeous. This is like sort of keeping with your Victorian / meets Art Deco motif.
I guess so, huh?
Right
I didn't
there.
even
Yeah,
mean that.
it totally goes in there.
I wanted something just like raw, feminine.
Classical Greek.
Yeah. Well, Valley of the Moon.
Thank you.
It's we're so used to hearing that term living here, but for
Right.
people who don't, they hear that and they're like, wow, that sounds very poetic.
And what's interesting is that was also the name of a book that Jack London wrote called The Valley of the Moon about this whole area here. So,
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Lauren, are you from Sonoma Valley?
No,
Oh.
but I've lived here for about 10 years now.
Okay.
So close.
So
but
2 or 3 more generations and you're local. Keep it up. So where did you grow up, if I can ask?
So I grew up actually originally from Wisconsin. I was born there, but I
Shut
only
up.
lived
Where are you
there-
from?
Yeah, go Packers. Eau Claire.
Are you really?
Yes.
Okay, I know that. I went to school there, and my wife's from Green Bay.
you did?
My wife's from a
Okay.
place, even further north. Like, go to nowhere and take a left, and that's where she lives. And I know my mother-in-law listens to this, so
Oh, okay.
Rice Lake's a beautiful
That's so
place. Mom,
funny.
we love Barron. It's really nice. But yeah, okay, that's funny. So you moved out.
Yeah, so we
California?
moved to Phoenix.
Okay, I've heard of that too. Yeah.
That's where most of my family is from, and I grew up there. But when I was 12 or so, we moved up to Mendocino. So total.
Oh wow,
total.
That's totally different. You went from the
360,
desert to
180?
the weird, like Gila monsters to like Sasquatch.
Banana slugs.
and
I
banana
remember
slugs,
the
right.
first time we saw a banana slug.
Yeah?
We were freaking out. I mean, they don't do anything to
No,
you.
if you lick them, supposedly your tongue goes numb because in sixth
Oh.
grade science camp you do that. Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah, sixth grade science camp.
legal?
If you, it's legal. It makes your tongue numb. Yeah, they have some sort of thing on it that's supposed to keep animals from eating them.
Oh, it's like
So
their
that's the
defense
big
mechanism.
dare. Like, 'cause I grew up in the South Bay, in the Santa Cruz Mountains area. If you find
have
one, and you're like, oh, lick that. You're like, oh my god. And
That's
like,
so
and then-
funny.
yeah, I don't know why.
I
we
never
do
heard of that. We would
Yeah.
just we would put salt on them. And
Oh my god.
very
Yeah, don't
a
do
child
that.
didn't hear that.
Yeah, this banana slugs. All right, so
anyway.
then you were up in Mendocino, and then you came down here, right? Or how
Yeah,
did you-
kind
okay.
of. Well, I was there from middle school, high school.
Okay.
Very formative years. I'm still friends with a lot of
cool.
high school friends there. But I went up to Portland, Oregon to Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Institute.
Oh,
So I was there for 2 years.
to study culinary, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then I wanted to move to Napa. That was just the place to go.
It
to
was.
learn
I've
from
heard of it.
Some of the best
It's a nice
chefs.
place.
I heard. Yeah, they have amazing chefs
Yeah, I've heard
and
of
wine.
that. I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
Maybe, but not on this podcast. So you moved over to Napa. Were you living in the city of Napa? Or
Gosh,
Valley?
I lived in. I started at Calistoga Ranch. I was in Calistoga. I lived in St. Helena for a little bit. I lived in American Canyon while working at Morimoto in Napa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I heard of a job for an executive chef at Beltane Ranch,
Oh,
which I actually heard of their olive oil. Like I knew of them from their meat and their olive oil. And I went there and they hired me.
Oh,
So
really?
I was there for like 4 years.
I never knew this. That's
You
funny.
did
'Cause
not?
It's so funny. The cover of our visitor guide, which is right behind me here for those watching on YouTube, and our newest visitor guide, we shot it at Beltane Ranch. In addition to Songbird Parlour, some of
Yeah,
our photos, and that's a cool spot up there.
Oh
at
yeah,
Beltane
I
Ranch.
mean, it's so cool. When I started, it was we just need you to cook breakfast a couple days a week, and then Lauren's mom would cook breakfast a couple days. Just very family.
Yeah, it's like
Everyone
a
lives
beautiful
on-
yellow building.
Oh yeah,
With multiple small rooms in there and a couple
Yeah,
rooms
there's
outside.
6. It's awesome.
And it's not a big place.
6 rooms.
And the ranch itself is fairly compact. You can walk around it. They got some horses and some beef cattle and chickens and some grapes
they have
over
the
there.
goats or the woolly.
Oh, the woolly weeders.
Weeders things, yeah.
Is that where Wally? Yeah, the woolly
Wally?
weeders was a small little tiny sheep that they help keep the grass down, which is an important thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I never knew that. How
And a lot of that wasn't even there when I started. It was the cat, the dog. Lauren just had a couple of little kids.
Wait a minute. If that's what it takes to have a ranch, I live on a ranch because I have 3 cats and a dog.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
3 dogs. 3 cats. Okay.
Yeah, we're bad at fostering it. We're good. We're great
I
at
heard.
fostering, but we're bad at giving them back.
Yes,
Yes.
But yeah, and then that just kind of
Okay.
blossomed. And, now they offer in-house catering, and
Okay.
they're doing food and wine pairings, picnic lunches,
Okay.
club member events.
Wow.
So now it's a whole...
It's a thing. Are you still
Thing there.
involved with them up there, or is like you're now
Gosh.
doing mainly your own thing because you've got 3 other businesses? that you
Yeah,
run? Okay.
I'm pretty busy
Yeah.
over there. But, and I actually lived on site in the cool water tower there.
That's a
all
cool
the way
spot.
up until the fires.
Oh, okay.
And then, things changed, and that's when I went full-time with
Got
my
it.
businesses.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Things change. That's the way it
crazy.
works. I also like the fact that you are. I mean, you are a chef, but now like you kind of oversee all your businesses.
Yeah.
So you probably cook, but you also have other people cooking, right?
Yeah.
Who else is cooking with you there at Songbird?
Our executive chef, Nathan Holden, is extremely talented. We're just so blessed to have him. He came on as just kind of a part-time chef for our private chef experiences. and we were able to take him on full-time this year, and he's at the helm of the kitchen. So we also have a very talented sous chef, Sierra, and he's traveled and worked all over the world too, but primarily Tokyo, Paris, San Francisco.
So what kind of food are you guys doing at Songbird?
Ooh, I actually just brought our brand new menu.
Brand new menu? All right.
Just
well, let's
posted
see
our fall
that.
menu. So, very beautiful farm-to-table food. We're lucky we have Sunray Farm just down the street.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oak Hill Farm, Flatbed Farm. We use very local olive oil, too. I also brought this for you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I come bearing gifts.
Los Paisanos.
Yeah, so it's a guy named
cool.
David Rothschild.
Oh, okay,
He's
nice.
a really cool, down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
And it's just up the road from us.
For real?
He manages an olive orchard there, and so he has his own brand.
Okay, you win something I didn't know. I love this.
Very small production. And so we're just super into finding, like, that's a big part of what we do. It's not just the food, it's the story and the people behind the food. Same with the wine as well. So for example, right now he's doing Sunray Farms mixed lettuces salad. He makes a vinaigrette with quince. And there's Mezzo Secco, which is a aged jack cheese made at Vella here in town. And then some pistachios, and he makes his own apple syrup. Let's see. He does this amazing Sweetwater oyster with like a potato and Laurel Bay espuma, which is like a foam. And so kind of like, it's fun. It's an experience. You kind of like dig through the foam to get the oysters.
And the oyster, is the oyster, it's not a raw oyster then, it's a cooked oyster?
No, it's like gently poached.
Really?
In cream. Yeah, it's fantastic. He makes his own homemade fermented chili paste. That takes several days. That's with the pork belly right now.
And that's more like an umami taste, like more Asian-inspired.
Yeah,
kind of
he
thing.
does do a lot of Asian-inspired stuff. And then some of our best entrees, people love our steak and potato. It's a filet mignon, the whipped potato. That's kabocha squash. We get the mushrooms from the Sam at the farmer's market.
Oh, you do? Okay.
His creekside shiitake, he calls them. They're like moist. They're like, oh man, they're so aromatic. If you
from the mushroom guy at the market.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Oh,
I like
yes.
him. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
Wait, but it sounds like, are you like a restaurant where people just walk in and order stuff, or how does that work?
No. So the private chef experiences are something that people book for their group. A lot of bachelorette parties, birthday parties, anniversaries, that kind of thing. And then, we also do catering. So we have a lot of regular winery clients. Locals, nonprofits, that kind of stuff. So
you are, someone could make it a restaurant in the sense that if you have 30 people coming, you could bring your 30 friends to a restaurant, but it's really a private chef experience. Like they can help choose from the menu. And have it ready in there.
Yeah.
And can people do weddings and stuff there too, like you said?
At Songbird Parlour, we do weddings all the time.
Or receptions or whatever.
Micro weddings usually, or up to like 40
micro weddings with microgreens, just a little touch of it, and a spume. That's because has anyone done weddings on that back patio? Because you have this huge deck back there.
We've had a few ceremonies
over the massive Sonoma Creek. Which
it's surprisingly a good amount of water in there year round.
It is. I love it.
A lot of places around here, that's, a creek.
A seasonal
and you're
creek.
like, oh, there's nothing.
A seasonal creek.
Yes,
and a Arroyo
exactly.
Seco. Yes.
It's gorgeous.
But it is so pretty back there.
It really is.
Although I do joke about the poison oak. Like, be careful hiking off trails in Sonoma Valley.
Yeah.
It's like our unofficial plant here is, so stay on the trail, folks, because you will find it. That sounds like a fantastic menu. Do you change it up once in a while, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, with the seasons.
Okay.
So at least 4 times a year, I would say.
Okay. And then not only do you do kombucha, Songbird, goodness gracious, and private chefing thing there, you're also really involved in a lot of things here in the Valley.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's why I asked. I didn't know you're. I said new. You've been here for 10 years, so you're not new, but you're really involved. Like with the Chamber of Commerce, you do the Young Professionals Program.
Yeah.
Which is getting people involved there, right?
Yeah, I kind of revived that. Maybe, has it been 5 years or so?
Oh, great. Okay.
I was just like, can you start the Young Professional Program again?
Let's get something. Because, but that's vital to help small businesses, especially ones that are starting up, that you can network and learn stuff and ask questions and be kind of honest. Like, I need help with this, right? Like, how do I get a loan, or how do I solve this one problem?
And it's fun because you end up being friends kind of with everyone and just have so much more in common. A lot of us have, like you said, a new business or maybe a new family. You're in the same boat, like trying to buy a house. Or, we just have a lot in common. Well, 20 years maybe.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I know. Maybe if we pool all of our resources together.
Oh, you co-housing. You should build a young professional co-housing unit.
That would
be
go
smart.
very well.
That'd be
That would be
genius.
like real world.
That'd be real world.
TV.
Exactly. But you're also like a commissioner on the Cultural and Fine Arts.
Yes,
Commission?
I love that.
Okay.
So I actually studied, I kind of missed a step in my history here. I won't go into it too much, but when I moved back here to cook in Napa and whatnot, I went back to school. And I studied political science and Spanish and Latin American studies.
Really?
And I traveled all over Latin America. And
What?
was like what I wanted
For
to
real?
do. I wanted to end hunger
Well
in
done.
Latin America.
Okay. Yes, as you do.
But
So simple.
mostly I just end hunger in my household now. But
See what's achievable, right?
but anyway, so I studied political science and I was on student government there. And
Okay.
I wanted to find a way to get hands-on experience with, some kind of governmental entity here.
Right.
And I saw that the Cultural and Fine Arts Commission was looking for a commissioner, so I
Good.
applied and I got elected or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been fun.
That might be your start in your political career. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll bring you back in a couple of years and you'll be like, I'm interviewing Mayor Kershner. And, you never know. Or state senator or something.
Oh gosh. Well,
Yeah, you never know. And then I also see that you teach ESL for La Luz.
yeah, I've been doing that for a few years too. So I said I studied
Yeah.
Latin American studies and Spanish. I actually
Right.
have a degree in Spanish, but I can hardly speak it now.
What?
So
You gotta
sad.
practice it.
I know. My boyfriend's Mexican.
You
I have
gotta
no
practice
excuse.
it. There.
I have no
Oh my
excuse.
gosh. Okay. You can.
But
walk,
anyway, so
walk
it's
down and
really
talk. Okay.
it's really nice to be able to help them,
That's
and I
good.
get to practice a little bit.
And what
so.
is the La Luz Center for people who don't know?
Oh my gosh! Well, it's a nonprofit organization. It's kind of over by the Boys Hot Springs, and they offer a ton of programming for locals to get maybe like economic development or professional development. They have certificate courses for people wanting to learn some trades.
It's a lot of people who are new to the country too, right? So a
Oh,
lot of
totally.
immigrants coming here.
They're learning English. They're learning
Right.
computers.
It's a good spot. I like going over there.
They do
It's a neat place.
festivals.
Yep.
It's
They do
really
all sorts of neat stuff over there.
They're great.
And they also put on like either the sometimes the Mexican Independence Day, the Fiesta de Independencia, the Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
They always have stuff going on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I should get them on here. But I mean, I got
Yeah.
you right now, so we'll talk to you. And then, yeah, you got all sorts of stuff going on. You're doing stuff. I see you also said Epic Fried Chicken Night that you do as a fundraiser. Tell me about Epic Fried Chicken Night.
Well, so this is something we started doing maybe 5 months ago. So Chef Nathan does this Japanese-style fried chicken. So he makes his own toasted rice flour and all of that. And
So that would be like no gluten.
right,
Maybe. Okay.
right,
Interesting.
gluten-free.
Okay.
And we just like put it together as a kind of a fun, like order at the counter, pick your sauce, pick your side. Get dessert if you'd like. We're featuring different local wineries.
Okay. And you do
Keeping
this
it
at
easy.
Songbird.
At Songbird Parlour.
And that's pretty neat.
And then it really like took off. We sell out. We try to keep track of the reservations so we don't overextend ourselves.
Right,
And
because you don't want to run out of chicken.
no, I mean I know
No.
people do that. First come first serve. But
Right.
I'm like, I just,
You always want to have. That's a trick, though.
yeah, it's hard. Like but so God, that just like exploded, and everyone asks about it. So the Sonoma Charter School came to me and said, "Oh, can we do like some kind of party at the Parlour for
That's
a
awesome.
fundraiser?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's do fried chicken." And
Fantastic.
that also sold out and raised a ton of money for the school. And
Okay.
my parents drank a lot of wine.
As they do.
Kept buying
As-
it. And we're like, okay, let's do this.
That's 100 times better than will you sponsor my child to walk 100 laps around, which are great. We love those.
I
And of
know.
course, but I'm like, how about we just have a party? We all write a big check.
I know. Well, yeah, it started out as a joke.
I mean,
with
a big check's not really a big check because but a check, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
It
so much
actually
happier
was a
with
big
that.
check for
Yeah.
the school, I heard. But yeah, it was like a joke. I think she posted a meme. She's like, if we really want to raise money for the school, just host an open bar for all the parents.
Boom, and
I was
it's
like,
done.
I'm like, let's do that. And she's like, no, like, let's do that. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do that.
And it's, yes, because then you don't have to be selling candy bars door to door and all the other fundraisers
It was
we do as
fun.
kids. And I see you also do something with MFK Fisher. Can you explain to me who that is and what that's about?
Yeah, I actually, so there's a Glen Historical Society, and they do a lot of work with the museum, and they actually are very involved board, and they're having their fundraiser next Saturday, and they asked if we could use some of MFK Fisher's recipes. One of the women on the board that's helping coordinate it was her assistant for years.
Okay.
She actually has like handwritten recipes from MFK Fisher still. So she was she's known for her food writing. So she's a food writer. She authored several books. She founded the Napa Valley Wine Library. And she was a chef. I don't think she.
And I think she lived in Glen Ellen.
Yep, she grew up in other areas of California, but she spent her last few decades.
Okay.
In Glen Ellen, her house is
still there, right?
Still there and everything.
Yeah. I think they do events up there once in a while for there's like a essay contest they do
cool.
and some other stuff. But I love that MFK Fisher is kind of tied to the Sonoma Valley food scene, but also the California food scene.
Yeah.
And then when the California food scene became big, right, Alice Waters and blah, 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 like people always talk about, farm to table or local seasonal. That was the California style.
Yeah, it very was. That's what she did. I was doing some research. In fact, I brought one of the recipes. I'll give it to
let's hear
you,
about
too.
it. What is it?
So it's called Heartbreaker Roast. And I also learned, I know, so she was, coming to write books and things during the Great Depression. And so a lot of her influence is on, like, how to make a meal with, like, kind of what you have. Or
how to kind of stretch it if you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, I mean, they're delicious. You wouldn't think it. But anyway, so it's Heartbreaker Roast. She cooks beef roast with lots of prunes and vinegar, some brown sugar, cloves, and cinnamon. So for fall, I felt like that would be
I like that. That's a good one. Well, prunes are a very Sonoma County product.
Yeah.
That we were famous for it for a long time. The Santa Rosa plum comes from here.
Yeah.
And I've done, it actually works really well with me. It's like some dried fruits are fantastic.
Do you cook?
I do cook.
Okay,
Yeah. I love to grill. I love to cook. I love roasts. Those are really good.
Yeah, it's easy.
And this is a look at you. It's easy.
Just throw it
Look,
in
this
the
is a chef. Oh, yeah, it's easy. I love that when I talk to chefs. Oh, it's so simple. I love it. It's so easy. Okay, this is great. So before we go into the next segment of our podcast, where you're going to help me answer questions, if people want more information about your multitude of businesses, Lauren, how do they find out about Songbird Parlour?
Yeah, so songbirdparlour.com.
Okay.
And that's spelled O-U-R, the Old English way.
Parlour, like the theatre. Right, Parlour. Okay, Songbird Parlour.
Songbirdparlour.com. And we're pretty active on Instagram at Songbird Parlour.
Okay.
And then Goodness Gracious is actually goodnessgraciouseats.com.
Got it. Okay,
And the
good.
Instagram is Good Gracious Eats.
Okay,
You
good.
can find them all, like,
just do some
if you
searching.
find one, you'll find the other.
They're all linked together. And the Valley of the Moon Kombucha Co.
Yeah, valleyofthemoonkombucha.com.
That one's easy.
And it's a pretty simple website. It shows where you can find us. We're actually in Napa, Sonoma, and Marin counties, quite a few places.
Do you like hand deliver this to stores and
do.
stuff? That's what I thought. I think I've seen you out on your rounds.
Oh, gosh.
I'm always laughing. Well, because people don't get this. Like, I see winemakers, smaller wineries, like dropping stuff off. They pull up in their like minivan and they're unloading wine. And like, well, here's the glamour of wine country.
Yeah,
and that's really it.
fun.
People really like Shauna Davis delivers her own stuff.
Yeah,
I've seen Black Pig Meat Company delivering their own bacon. Like, people are out there doing it themselves.
Yeah. I mean, it's just me.
They go to like Sonoma Market, or they go to a small restaurant or something like that. So it's just you. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, are you ready?
I think so.
Lauren, we have 2 visitor centers, and we get all sorts of questions from all sorts of people. We got to answer them. We have volunteers, professionals. You're going to help us out. You're going to be deputized now as a volunteer for a segment we call We Get Questions. All right. These are all questions we actually got.
Okay.
This one might help or not. How come there aren't as many hot springs in Sonoma? The kind where you sit naked in the rocks with the water flowing 60s style. So this is an older person wearing Birkenstocks who's like, yo, man, where's the old springs?
Well, I know there used to be that, Morton's, the Fairmont.
Right.
They call it Agua Caliente for a reason.
Absolutely.
But I don't know why they aren't there anymore. In fact, I think just the Fairmont still kind of tap into that. I think they have in their spa they have. But no, you can't be naked. And
right. I mean, I wonder if the Fairmont they can. I guess. But you're right. So Morton's, which is a cool spot in Glen Ellen.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a family resort, so people aren't running around au naturel, as it were.
No.
But the springs do come and heat up that water. And the Sonoma Creek, the same one that goes down by you, does have areas where the springs, the hot springs bubble out of mud. Cool. Yeah. But there aren't like the big rocks like you see in the Eastern Sierra and the volcanic areas where you see that. But there were a long time ago. But in 1906, something happened in California that shifted a lot of things.
Was it an earthquake?
It wasn't an earthquake. You have 2 choices, earthquake or fire, or maybe flood. So, yes, that's what happened. And actually, some of the hot springs, and actually big hot springs, did shift. But it's interesting, most of the power that we get, including the electricity that is currently powering this podcast comes from a geothermal field in Sonoma County, way up on the border up by Lake Napa. It's called the Geysers.
Oh, yeah.
Same geothermal pools and stuff like that. So the answer is there aren't as many hot springs in Sonoma because of the 1906 earthquake. There are plenty of hot springs still at the Fairmont, still at Morton's.
And actually, it's in Lake County, so I'm not allowed.
Go for it.
Am I allowed to talk about
Why
that?
not?
Okay. There is a hot springs, and you can be naked there, and it's gorgeous.
Harbin
Hot Springs.
Hot Springs is up there. There's a couple others up there, and you're absolutely right. And Jack London, did he go to Harbin or did he go to the other one? He went to Vichy Hot Springs.
Oh, yeah.
Which are
That's in Ukiah.
Yeah. So if people do want to go to the hot springs, yes, we have some. The Fairmont has the fancy, beautiful, amazing experience. Morton's has a great family experience.
And there's one in Calistoga too.
And then Calistoga. It's the same volcanic fissure that works its way up there. Yeah. So there you go. Here's a good question we got. Is there a good podcast to listen to that covers outdoor adventures in Sonoma County?
I'm sure the Sonoma Spiel.
You're hired.
I can talk about some stuff like that. Is that the trick question?
Well, no. So Sonoma Spiel is definitely one, which is the podcast you're listening to.
I don't know. I'm actually fairly new to the whole podcast thing.
Okay.
I mean, I know where you could look up things. You know, we have a lot of state parks. I'm sure their websites.
Where do you like to go hiking? Like, would you do that or biking?
Yeah, I live like steps away from the Montini Trail, so that's easy kind of every day I can go do that. But Sugarloaf is when I really want to.
It's a great one.
Go on a hike and go to the top.
Oh, and they have a lot of winter camping right now. It looks really awesome. And they have like glamping, and they can also rent your own tent. Another good podcast, Weekend Sherpa, who's it's an email thing you can get, but Brad lives here in town, and he often covers a lot of outdoor stuff. Yeah, so
Weekend Sherpa.
Weekend Sherpa.
Cool.
Okay, here's one we got. It comes from the Sonoma County Wine Imbibers group on Facebook. So thank you, Sarah, for doing that. Here it was posted. We will come to Sonoma County next week and stay in Glen Ellen.
Yay.
Does anyone have any suggestions for transportation to visit wineries? We will have a rental car, but don't think other drivers are covered. Can we reserve an Uber at certain pickup times from the vineyards?
Technically, yes, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Why?
Uber is just not. First of all, the service can be sketchy, but there just aren't a lot of Ubers. I mean, you could try maybe if you start earlier and on it, but I wouldn't rely on it.
Yeah.
There are a couple of companies that do the designated driver thing, so you don't need to rent a van or a black car or one of their cars. So you can find one of those.
Absolutely.
And then probably don't want to do this, but the number 30 bus goes up and down the highway.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you. It's not free. It's not free. The Sonoma Shuttle is free up until the spring.
The 32, yes.
But good job for knowing the buses. Thank you.
I did, yeah. They're at the end of Beltane Ranch, actually. There's a stop.
There absolutely is a stop.
There's one probably close to Mascardini. I mean,
there's one at St. Francis Winery.
Yes.
It goes up and down the entire valley.
Yeah.
So that's Sonoma County Transit, or I think it's sctransit.org or .gov.
Yeah.
You can look it up.
The trolley goes up and down the highway, too.
So you can take the Sonoma Valley Wine Trolley, and that starts at 10 a.m. It leaves from the plaza, and it goes up and down. So it's a good one. There's also plenty of tours you can book.
Oh, yeah. Platypus
Pure Luxury,
tours,
Platypus, Edge of the World Wine Tours.
Bohemian
Highway.
La Belle Vie. She does vegan tours.
Okay, good. Woody's Wine Tours. There's lots of them. Windsor Wine Tours. I mean, I guess there's a whole list there. So, okay, good. You're smart. You got it. Yeah, but obviously, my favorite thing to see as I drive home is people sitting by the side of the road waiting for an Uber.
No.
And I pull up and I say, you know what? You need to go back to the winery. And because sometimes your cell phone doesn't work so well up here, and you need to call.
So you don't give them a ride? You pull over and you talk to them?
I'm often going the other direction. If they want to come home with me and we can make Heartbreaker roast.
Foster one of your cats.
I could give them a
cats.
cat. That's right. You're a genius. You can have a cat. Okay, here's another question that we got also through Facebook. But people text us questions too, all sorts of things. But here's one. This was kind of funny. Are there any restaurants that offer organic ingredients in Sonoma Valley?
It'd probably be easier to answer which ones don't offer organic ingredients. There's a lot. I mean, Valley is one of my favorites.
Right.
They literally, I see the chef, Emma, at the farmer's market picking up her produce. Spread Kitchen does that too.
Right. Oh, Spread's great stuff. Like the Lebanese-inspired food.
Beautiful,
I love going
colorful,
over there.
fresh. Yeah, I love
really
their
good.
Stuff. Baker and Cook.
Oh, Jen makes good stuff. Oh, so good.
I could go on and on.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point. Your list would be a lot shorter if it was people who just opened up number 10 cans of things and poured them out.
Yeah.
Because most of the restaurants here, even like pizza restaurants and the Mexican restaurants like Sonoma Eats, he grows the stuff up at a farm. People grow food, or they know the person growing the food, and it's organic, or some's even like biodynamic or whatever. I mean,
at this point, I don't think people even have to say farm to table organic. It's just kind of a given here, you know.
We just call it eating.
Yes.
That's the way it is.
It's awesome.
So you did a good job there. You're like hired as now. Do you want to be a volunteer? You can just come there. You got nothing else to do, right?
I don't know if I have time for that.
I mean, all you got to do is show up and give me 2 hours, and you're set there. And it's so simple. Lauren, you've been really good. Thanks for coming on to this.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
It's good to see you again. If people have questions about, let's go over all your places to find you. So if I want to find Goodness Gracious, how do I find that?
GoodnessGraciousEats.com.
Okay, Songbird Parlour.
SongbbirdParlour.com.
Valley of the Moon Kombucha.
.com.
That's really easy. So it's been fantastic, and I really appreciate you taking time to come in here.
Of course.
Everybody else listening, remember, not only do we have people like Lauren Kershner and her fantastic business on our website, sonomavalley.com, but we've also got events, we've got deals, special offers. You can sign up to get our newest visitor guide there. That's sonomavalley.com. And if you've listened this long to the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, give us 5.5, give us 7 stars, invent new stars so everyone will know about it. And thank you for listening. Mom and Dad, hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.